but I was just thinking because when I seen that video for the first time and I saw that vision in my head, because that's the way that my gifts work in real time. Sometimes I will see, I'm guessing if God really want me to see something, I'll see it in my brain. It's something I'm probably supposed to do all the time, but somebody could have blocked this gift. But I was thinking, I just can read situations and people really well if I sit back and look. Another thing that I was thinking is how these people are trying to keep you distant and keep you uh, locked in or something and talk to you through this community instead of asking somebody questions face to face. It's like that's a form of some type of abuse to keep somebody in a dire situation and try to question them through hypnosis or mind control. It's just a mess. You should just throw away the whole case. But I was just thinking, usually when something traumatic happened in the, especially in a black community, you know how like a shooting or something might happen and somebody like, oh, I think it's your daughter's down the street, and the people run down there. It take the whole police force to hold these people back, even if the person is under a blanket on the ground, or if they find the person in a dumpster, whatever it is. You, especially with so-called black people, they be trying to get to the body. They don't care. People be running towards the body. They got to block the shit off. So that's another thing. What did the fuck did they see? You have to just read it like that. Anybody can look at it like that. Anybody can. This is not even something that somebody got a spiritual gift could do. What did they see? Because all we just seen was somebody bent over in the corner in the freezer. No, what did they really see? What did they really see to have them people come in the room and burst out running? What this is it's common sense. Like if you could do a little bit of investigative reporting or something like this. What was it that they seen that made both of them run out like that? Because even if you think about Jesus, because I keep seeing Jesus on the cross, somebody could have did something weird like that. Now, because remember I told you we was picking up on somebody that put something in somebody's drink, and they was giving oral to that person while they was under this drugs. Okay. Now imagine that if this was a situation where I told you, like, say, because again, when I was in Rosemont 20 years ago in that same area, what if something like that happened to me and somebody went back in the files and found out what really happened to get somebody offline, right? But I was just thinking, like, damn, I was about to make a point. It's like, because I'm still thinking about skin walking too. Something about skin. And of course, again, all the police know who was in that room. Somebody know I wasn't there when Kanika was there. So what, how else would I see? Because I know somebody seen something that was off the wall. They didn't show this to the public. The public don't, whatever they seen in that room, it ain't what we seen in them pictures. Okay? I'm just going to tell you that. That's why I told you it's something about this Gnostic energy. I could be a Gnostic. That is a God. The way that we interpret stuff and see things is the way we think, or the truth, the sharp cutting truth, or we can hear something and know it's the truth. It's a sense of knowing. Nobody can tell you whatever it is if God is showing you it. You don't have to be there. So somebody would say, hey, either you was there that night when we showed them that, or you was there when somebody did that, or I just have this commuted in my brain because that's what Gnostics are made for. That's why they tried to kill all the Gnostics. When people start doing lawlessness and they thought they could get away with it by separating themselves or making themselves seem bigger than everybody else, right? The general public. But anybody could just interpret that if they just pay attention to the video. Most times, especially with black people, they can't contain themselves. Black people will try to jump in the casket with their dead loved one when they get in shock, when they go walk down the line, and everybody go see the body, and you got some people that you got to pull. They be trying to get in the casket. You got to pull them away from the casket and have them go sit down or something like this. So what would make that? Even while I was thinking about Jesus, that's what I was about to say. When he or she was on the cross, those people was at the feet, kissing the feet of the dead, bloody person. Still, the mother or whatever or whoever that was that came, they were still at the feet of this person, kissing the bloody feet. So it just make me wonder, what the hell did they see? And it made me think about those cards when the girl got the stabbing things in her back, and then um the boy is locked up in that closet or something like this on those one cards. My Hawaii cards is what I call them, or my Pacific Islander cards. And we just seen that man with the head off, with the penis off. You know what I'm saying? Because I was wondering. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. What if uh I didn't know nothing about the underworld back then, because we seen heavy energy of the underworld. And like I said, if these people were creating new people in this under thing or whatever, it's like, what if somewhere where you went, this could even be something that happened on my road trips or anything, or on your road trips, or when somebody was not at home, but it just making me think like, what if what I told you, like I told you, I kept feeling like when I look back at the pictures that we took or something like this, and some of these things, the people don't look the same. So what if that is the case? That they started to categorize people and keep them in jurisdictions. And so when you go, when I told you I would, like, usually most of the time I'll get like a hotel room for my birthday close by either Chicago or Milwaukee. I've been on several of these things for my birthday. Several. Okay. Just because I always had my children all the time. So it was a way for me to get away and just clear my mind and think about me and get up, get dressed early. I don't have to worry about doing other people's hair. I could just put my makeup on, get myself cute, and go do something and only be about me. This is why I would go on those trips. Okay. And or maybe invite my friends or something. But I was saying, what if there's some kind of illusion there? But then again, I had to think about that. What if God already seen what somebody was going to do, and that wasn't even me there? Before I go on this trip, I already been moved because somebody knew what these people do when I go. You see what I'm saying? Like, somebody could be more protected than you think. Because I was thinking, even like, okay, if these people had a chip on you, or they be going following you places or something, would me and my friends or hanging out or whatever like this, for the birthday, sitting in that room chilling and everything like this, that could be what really was happening. But again, like I said, if these people are forever youngers that was departed from us, they might like to look at us living our life in the Truman Show, but they locked out into you know the abyss or something. So when they get word like, oh, that person, just booked a hotel room. Oh, these people could have already migrated in. Do you understand? Okay, let's say this: 1980, something happened, a silent war. Some of y'all is blinded, or you don't know something, or you taking offline or whatever with these people. The people that was born in the 80s, something could have happened to these people in this town where they got stuck in a time warp. Something could have happened where these people end up getting turned to vampires at a young age, and they'll always look that young. And so, they can't finish out the storyline in the Truman Show, because people would think that that's weird, that all these people, they don't age right or something. So these people could have had to migrate out of the Truman Show. If say you was Truman or I was Truman, these people had to migrate out. So they could have moved more towards south, 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 towards the city or something like this, where it's bigger, it's more people. You're not really running into the same people all the time unless you live in like a little, you know. I was just thinking about that. And then these people already lived up there and they was going to eliminate all the other people in the Truman Show so they can go back into what so-called living is or something. Just hear me out. I'm just thinking about this in some other kind of way. So if you think about the movie Us, those people was come they had swapped out that little girl in the underworld. And then what happened? They came up when that family went on a vacation and then they tried to kill them there. And what was they gonna do? They were gonna pretend like they was them and just live. So that's what I'm saying. I be wondering about that. If they catch you off guard in their jurisdiction, you see what I'm saying? Then what do that mean? Did somebody think that they was gonna end your life and then go back home and unpack their clothes and you know go live back in the Truman Show with your children and your spouse? I just be wondering because I look at those pictures and nobody looks the same. Now, when I was taking the pictures and we were having these moments of life or whatever, I didn't notice that. It ain't until something flipped and then I start going back and looking at pictures and going back and looking at pictures of my children. And I'm like, hold the fuck on. This is not just people changed and grew up and started looking more mature or nothing. No, these is not the same people. No, they're not. I don't even look the same. Mm. Now, either somebody did a raid or a bust, and they could have found they could be finding out about these little things and going and saving people, or there's something where some people could be held in captivity for 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, or something like this, and somebody could have just killed somebody. Somebody was in captivity all that time or something, and somebody could have just killed somebody recently. Or this is what they do when too much stuff start coming up. They panic. They don't know what to do with the person, or they think that somebody about to go looking for this person now, and something like this. So somebody could have got taken from a hotel. This whole thing opens up a can of worms. That's why I don't really like to go into it because this could be ritual, and who knows, the real you or me could have got taken from a hotel 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and these people had you in some type of captivity, and you just died recently, or they just let you free, or you just escaped, or something like that. Because once you start thinking about it like this, you think like either I think differently or I am what they could be saying downcast, where I'm not able to think like really high like the rest of the people that could be calling themselves gods or something, or like something is off. Like how we were talking about colorblind. People can see colors but not like that, or you could be somebody that see the world but not like that, or you don't only want to see the world like that and everybody else see it like that. It's giving me stumbling block. People trying to those Jews. It's like a stumbling block to the Jews and something else to the other people. So that's just giving me that in depth. But it's a certain ease or something you could go with. You don't have to go looking around or checking back or doing this and that when you innocent. Like you're not really. That's the scary thing about it because a lot of people could have been innocent and they wasn't able to get out of something or explain something. These people thought that they piled it on, like the Briar Rabbit story that we was talking about, where the person, somebody just piled it on, piling. The more you think about it or talk about it, the more you get tangled up into something. And that's when if that's why it feels like God is stepping in on somebody's behalf. Like the thing is also these people are not thinking. Say they're the only ones that can see the world like that, and everybody else see it like this. They know that now somebody can see it like somebody can see them and what they've been doing, and somebody's actually talking about it. Because it could be these people have to sign something once that part of their brain click on, and so they can't talk about that stuff. But the Son of God may be able to do that. But that would be also a reason why they would try to get that person in jail or trap the person or do something bad to the person, you know? Because they don't want, like they said, what you doing around here telling us about what we do, Jesus, when he was casting out those demons or she was casting out those demons. This could be also exposing them. I mean, because what else was he doing? What else was Jesus? It, he, she. What else would that person been doing? Why would they be getting so mad? See, somebody would have been having to say something that other people can't say, or that they wasn't thinking about it like that. And these people don't want you talking about the rituals that they do in the town. Why children look different and people be looking different and shit. I was just thinking about that, right? This could be about like large sums of money or how these people make it because they can't buy and sell for real. And this could be how these people were able to be relevant or are able to still be relevant by stealing from those of us that may be offline or on autopilot so that people can steal from us or treat us any old kind of way or do manipulative or strange things to us without us knowing. And then after 20 years of doing this shit and putting stuff on you or taking you to places or doing something or putting your blood in places, then they say, oh, we don't need you no more. We'll sacrifice you and we're just going to make a new one of you. And then we're going to go do this all over again. See, but they don't get that chance this time again. Because, like, even if you think about scary movies or stuff like this, and people walk in and they find their person defiled or cut in half or something, they're going to be in shock. Yeah, somebody might run, but more so likely they be trying to go like to get a blanket and put it over the person, like, oh my God, my son, what did they do to my son? And they might try to cover up the body or something. But I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think. If you were so worried about your child and you found your child even hanging from a rope or something, I don't know. You probably gonna try to go grab the person. You know, some people trip out. You know, you never know how each person is gonna react. But some people will try to go take the person, take the weight off the person, like try to hold them up, even if the person been dead. It's a psychological thing. They might try to go by the body and lift it up, like cut this person down or something like this, or they try to figure out a way to get the person down or something. You know, but you never know how anybody is gonna act. Somebody might just turn around and burst out the room. I was just thinking, because it maybe it's just in the movies, but it make me think people usually come if the person is there, even if they just or whatever, somebody will still be trying to pick up the body and wake the person up, wake up, like if they're in shock. So to have two people turn around just run out like that, it's just like, hmm, I don't know. But anyways, that was it.